During Black History Month, we raise up the memory of Black Americans whose lives inspire us to live our baptismal call to the fullest, and we implore their intercession to blot out the sin of racism. Let's recall the lives of three remarkable Black Catholic Americans.
Pierre Toussaint was born into a Catholic slave family on June 27, 1766, on a French plantation in modern-day Haiti. The Barrard family educated him as a house slave and took him with them when they moved to New York City in 1787. He was apprenticed as a hairdresser, and since the wealthy had hairdressers come to their homes, he was allowed to keep much of his earnings. His kind and cheerful disposition assured a steady and lucrative position in the society of the time.
Oh God, through your servant Pierre, you show us the many ways of bringing about social justice in society. Move us to actions of solidarity with the poor, the humble, and the lowly.
Mary Elizabeth Blaine was born around 1789 in Santiago de Cuba, where she lived in a primarily French-speaking community. She came to Baltimore, where a great number of Catholic, French-speaking refugees had settled. She was well educated and wealthy due to money left to her by her father. In 1828, with the help of Sulpician Father James Joubert, she and two other Black women started a school for Black Catholic children. The following year, she and three other Haitian women pronounced vows in what became known as the Oblate Sisters of Providence, the first religious order of women of African descent.
Oh God, your servant Mother Mary Lange brought the light of learning to a generation struggling to find a place in society. Help us to be providence as we find ways to contribute to the betterment of others' lives.
Thea Bauman was born in Mississippi on December 29, 1937. Her grandfather had been born a slave, but her father was a physician and her mother a teacher. She joined the Franciscan Sisters of Perpetual Adoration in Wisconsin, the only Black sister in the congregation. Gifted with a brilliant mind, a beautiful voice, and a dynamic personality, Sister Thea shared the message of God's love through inspirational talks across the country and beyond. The U.S. bishops invited her to be a key speaker at their conference on Black Catholics. The bishops joined her in song and movements. She died at age 52 on March 30th, 1990.
Oh God, you raised up your daughter Thea to show us the beauty and joy of a worship that is grounded in life experience. Teach us to pray from our hearts in ways that spill over into service for justice. During the early years of our country, God's invitation to a deep spiritual life was widely felt among the early American Black community. Let us listen to the stories of three Black women mystics.
Sojourner Truth, 1797 to 1883, was born a slave. Her mother taught her children strategies for survival by sitting under the stars and calling upon God. Her contemplation of the book of nature expanded her understanding of the biblical story of creation. If God is all in all, God cannot tire and rest. For the waters would not flow, and the fishes could not swim, and all motion must cease. Her strong inner life made her a fearless speaker of convincing insights.
Rebecca Cox Jackson, 1795-1871, was born into a free family. One night, shuddering with fear during a lightning storm, she was overcome with feelings of peace and protection and desire to share the love God had poured into her. She became a traveling preacher and found the first Black Shaker community.
Geraldine, 1783 through 1864, was born of a free black parents, but was hired out to work for other families far from home. In a quiet moment, she heard a voice telling her to go preach the gospel. She was told by her church that only men could preach, and asked why. She became the first authorized woman preacher in the African Methodist Episcopal Church.
Provident God, we thank you for the lives of these women mystics who teach us if only our hearts continue to be open. Aware of our own brokenness, we ask the gift of courage to identify how and where we are in need of conversion in order to live in solidarity with the beautiful but fragile home we call Earth and all of your creation.
Thank you for praying with us today. We have an article here from the Pastoral Care Department. It introduces Sikh, Black, Catholic, Holy people on their way to sainthood. If you would like to have a copy, see Sister Harin, Sister Rosemary, and myself, Sister Teresa. May God bless us all. Thank you.